So Jamaicans for Justice, JFJ, has now established services directed to victims of gender-based violence. And joining us now to share the details, Jamaicans for Justice's legal officer, Nastasia Robinson. Nastasia, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Simone. Thank you for having
It's
me.
good to have you, even though I wish we were not talking about this matter because I wish it were not happening, but it is. So let's start there. And we know that there's been an increase in cases of domestic violence since the onset of COVID, when people have had to be on lockdown and in quarantine. Give us the stats before and let us know how things have worsened, Nastasia.
Well, what we've noticed is that we've had an increase, or us and our partners have had an increase of complaints from particularly women and girls who have been locked away with their abusers. And so, work and school would have provided that escape for them. But with the lockdown, they've been forced in a way to um, stay at home with their abusers. And so that has increased their abuse. And so we've seen these stories coming out, particularly on social media. And this is a matter that has caused great concern for Jamaicans for Justice prior to COVID-19. But with the realities coming out of COVID-19, it has increased our concerns. And so we thought it a great time to launch this project of ours, even though it's been in the work for some times, but COVID-19 has certainly pushed us towards
Launching it.
opening it up now,
So,
launching it now.
so before we were looking at like 1 in 4 women. Is that correct?
Right, right. Before we were looking at 1 in 4 men, and that has increased to about 3 in 4.
What?
In terms of those living in abusive homes, yes,
Wow, Nastasia, that is mind blowing.
it is. It is.
3 out of 4, 75%. Let me ask before we get into this, do you also get reports from men? I'm curious.
Not entirely.
Okay.
We've when we get complaints from men, male population. It's usually from boys who've
Okay.
been not so much men.
Gotcha. All right. So you guys have moved forward this initiative so that you can help the situation
Yes.
as it continues to unfold and unfortunately worsen. So tell us about those services that you are now directing to those who experience gender-based violence.
Right. So Jamaican for Justice is providing services free of charge to women who are victims, well, not just women, but victims of domestic violence in general, but particularly gender-based violence. We offer free legal advice. We offer case support to the victims. We also offer legal representation if the matters go to court. And we have an initiative to link victims to psychological support. Our free legal advice, we understand that not victims need to know what their options are when they are being abused, and we recognize that not everyone not everyone knows their option, and so we open our doors to provide that space where
Yeah.
we can provide with the information that they need. If the matter becomes litigious, meaning it gets to court, we represent them in those matters. For example, if they need protection orders or occupation orders under the Domestic Violence Act, we represent them, make these applications for them. If it is a matter of physical abuse, we assist them in, partnering with them in terms of if the matter goes before the criminal court where their partner or their abuser is charged. Sexual violence, same thing. We
Yeah.
support them, provide legal support in that sense.
You also offer psychosocial support. So talk us through
Yeah.
that.
We link with some of our partners, such as E4 Life. They have a great program
They
in terms
do.
of mentoring women and girls that have been abused. And so E4 Life has been our partner in terms of our other project, which is providing services to key populations. And so with this project, we've just kind of expanded that partnership with E4 Life.
Okay. So the folks who are looking to encourage to talk to you are women and
Yes.
and girls who are in
Yes.
situations where they're being physically abused. What about emotional trauma and emotional abuse? Does this cover that as well?
Right. So our Domestic Violence Act is a bit lacking, right? And so it unfortunately doesn't provide a good definition of what domestic violence is. And so we encourage all women and girls, if they are of the view that they are being abused in any way, emotionally, verbally, physically, sexually, to come to us and let us and have a talk with us to explore the options of what can be done.
Right. So if it's even to offer the psychosocial and to give them the
Right.
therapy to help them through a situation,
Right.
then that's a
Because some of these
start.
things unfortunately, because of their nature and because of the inadequacies of the act, may
Correct.
not go to become litigious, right? They may not become something that you go to court for, but certainly they need the support up to that point.
Absolutely. Okay, so how do they do this, Nastasia? If they're listening now and they're in the situation that we've spoken about, how do they reach out and get the help that they need?
Right. So you can call Jamaicans for Justice, and you're putting me on the spot because I forgot the number. We're
Here.
located.
Well, they're on Instagram.
So
You're on Instagram, so
I
you
have
have
it
your.
right here. Don't worry, I've got it. 615-5023 to 4.
Good job. Give it to us
Not
again.
bad.
615.
615-5023 to 4.
Okay, I don't know how you would have go work this morning. And then you're also on Instagram
Thankfully, I'm in quarantine, so I wouldn't be going in.
at Jamaicans for Justice is your Instagram
Right. You can
handle.
find us on Twitter as well at Jamaicans for Justice and on Instagram. We are located at 2 Fagan Avenue, Grand Spence, so you can do a walk in and talk to us.
Okay, so guys, you can walk in, you can link them on social, or you
Yes,
can call them at 615.
5023
Good
to
job. I was
4.
just checking if you still have the paper in front of you. Nastasia, thank you so much
Thank
for
you for
linking with us
having
this
me.
morning. This is an important discussion that we need to keep having, especially given the figures that you have mentioned that have, I'm sure, a lot of people's jaws on the ground this morning, from 1 in 4 to 3 in 4. That story needs a follow-up. So thank you for that information. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Nastasia Robinson, Jamaicans for Justice Legal Officer. All right. Speaking of abuse and all the rest of it, folks, are you settling for less? Coming up next on Girl Talk, we discuss the dangers of doing that. Stay with us. Smile returns after this.